Today we're out on a dual sport ride. We're going to ride through 3 ghost towns and have lunch on a mountain. Right now we're in the town of Bumblebee, established in 1864. It was a stage stop between Phoenix and Prescott. Behind me is the Bumblebee Elementary School. There's a few buildings here, I believe from that era, still standing. That's a cool place just to ride through, and you've got to ride through here to get to Crown King. It's been about 6 weeks since I've been on a motorcycle. Try to post some videos every once in a while of stuff I've had. But I had other life situations that needed attending to. Did make a run at going camping up north on this bike. I got Californicated, which ticked me off so much I just packed up my stuff and went home. But I am testing out I don't know if it's testing out, a new rear tire, new manufacturer and model, and seeing how that works out. But getting to that, this bike needed a rear tire or something fierce for probably about 6 months riding on a tire that wasn't dangerous or wore out really, but just for me and what I think about, it was time to change it out. So, trying something a little bit cheaper. Thank you. Thank you. Some people in the world. I keep motorcycling as a cash-only business, and I had indebted myself to myself, so I took enough dollars out of the house fund to replace the front tire, the front wheel of this bike. I think it was back in April or so. Had other things going on that couldn't get that paid back to me. But I think we're at the dead even now. Had to replace some gear,
some riding gear, so spent my first little bit of dinero on this tire and the gear. I want to get my savings back up. I like to have a good buffer in case something like that wheel does happen. See all these tailing piles here. Forgetting what the name of the mine was. My brain's saying Mammoth, and I don't think that's correct. But that was cleaned up, I don't know, 10-15 years ago. They took down all the buildings and collapsed the mine portal, and like they left the water tanks up there. Some real nice off-road riding, no matter what you ride off-road. Dirt bike, dual sport, adventure bike, ATV, side-by-side, Jeeps. Bradshaws are just an absolutely awesome place. Pretty much something for everybody. From single track to gravel road like this. From town, and as you can see today, there'll be places to stop and is town of Cleator. All these buildings from back in the day. Let's hop off a second. Look around. Well, this is downtown Cleator. Kind of know where you are because of the Cleator Bar and Yacht Club, kind of a joke. The other thing you'll see, and more prominent, is the Cleator General Store and Bar. Lots of folks here wet their whistle on the way up or way down the mountain. Very popular off-road place. If you have the pleasure of riding through some of these little old ghost towns and remote areas, you'll see weird things. And I have no idea what that is. This poor pup's been penitentiarized. There's a placard if you guys want to stop this video and read about it. I believe this town is probably one of the best preserved ghost towns in the Southwest. I know Bodie gets a lot of fame, and also not far from here is Vulture City, but the residences here, while there wasn't a mine exactly here, the residences here are pretty well preserved, and there's quite a few buildings. If you come here, don't bug the people that are here. This road that I'm on right now, going back that way, was all rail grade. After it was a stage stop, the mining district that's up by Crown King required rail, so everything we're going to ride on today going up the hill was 99% rail grade. As we pass some of the houses here, the road we came in on goes off in that direction, which I believe was the old stage route, and the rail line came down the mountain behind us, then takes this left-hand turn. Right behind me you can see an evidence of a very narrow rail cut. This goes through, there's several cuts like that to keep the rail grade flat. So as you go down here, it's like, I think the sign says 5 miles, give or take, you'll run along the rail bed. There's a trellis out there that is destroyed, so I don't know if there's a way around that or not. Last time I was out here, it was pretty treacherous. No matter where you are, and there's people populating it, whether it's campgrounds or a small town like this, be courteous and watch your dust. up the switchbacks. You can see the layers of roads up there. coming into Crown King. Our last town of the day. Take a little walk around downtown, if you want to call it that. End up there at that restaurant, but we'll check out the main part of Crown King. Well, they want you to go slow, but there's a little resort there with a chapel in it. That's a general store. Very expensive gas, but you would pay $20 a gallon up here if you were out of gas. You can get all your stuff that fell out of the back of your side-by-side on the way up the back way. Water and beer and snacks and stuff. There's the saloon. That's the other restaurant up here. There's MJ's Cafe and Tavern. It's like the mall up here. You can get yourself a t-shirt, all that kind of stuff. Of course, there's the fire department. This is Crown King. There's that chapel I was telling you about, the guest ranch back there. And this is the general store. As I was talking about earlier, this is a ghost town, if you will. A mining history was here. This was the terminus for the Senator Highway. Talked about that in other videos. You can look that up if you'd like. Probably go do that sometime this winter. This town had a lot of stuff moved here from Bradshaw, Arizona, which was the actual mining town up here, named for Bradshaw, who discovered this mining district and who this mountain range is named after. So we're coming up on the saloon restaurant, the Crown King Saloon Restaurant. There is a storied little battle between this place and the Mill Restaurant back in the 70s and 80s. The two owners had a little throwdown way back when. And there's two camps of folks that like, at least that in the old days when I first started coming up here, there's two camps, the guys that like the saloon and the guys that like the Mill. Personally, I've always gone to the Mill, and that's probably kind of been my place, not that I'm in one camp or the other. Luckily enough, Crown King, knock on wood, there's been a few fires up here over the last 25 years that I've lived here. And Crown King's been spared every time, and a lot of that is the efforts of fire department, forestry service, and the hot shots.
I'm gonna go in the general store and buy something so I'm not violating the law, and then we'll head over and grab some lunch.
I'm working, you're playing.
Yes, ma'am. You're gonna hang out at a seat right here underneath this manzanita tree and enjoy downtown for a few minutes. Morning.
That's you?
Yep.
How did you get here?
I came up the easy way.
Okay. I'm glad I'm not the only.
New back tire, so I'm trying to figure that thing out.
Well, my bike isn't quite as capable as yours.
Mhm.
Okay, I got a Kawasaki Versus X300.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about?
sir.
So, although it does everything I really need it to do,
Mm-hmm.
yesterday was my second failed attempt to ride the Senator all the way from Prescott
Mhm.
to here. My Garmin tells me I get to within 3.2 miles of Crown King,
Yep.
and I get to that Boulder Garden kind of mess.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And I like riding by myself. But I have to tell myself, if you are by yourself and the bike has limits,
Yep.
ground clearance is limits, you know.
Yep.
It's got a motor and it's got tires. It's just the ground clearance and some of me, you know,
Yep.
because I'm 65.
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday was my second time to get to that point and turn around and ride all the way. Actually, yesterday I turned around and where Pine Hill or whatever, the road to Mayor,
Yep.
I rode the easy way to Mayor, and then from Mayor took the highway back to
Yes, sir.
Prescott.
Yep.
And then I looked at the map and I realized if I'm ever going to get here, I might as well just go the same way I went home, you know, back
Mhm.
to Mayor and Antelope Creek this way.
Yep.
So that's how I got here.
Mhm.
I'm going to spend all day here because by golly, you know, the ride wasn't as scenic as the Senator.
Mhm.
Well, it's scenic, yes. Not near as hard.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend some time here. Take some photos to prove that I did make it. Yeah.
Have you lived here long?
I don't live here. I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Gotcha.
My last day of work was May the 30th.
Well, good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks. And even more important than that is I became intentionally homeless on June the 30th.
Oh, wow.
Everything I have is in a transit van, including, when I get back, the motorcycle.
Yep. Go ahead. Well, we're gonna head across the street, get some lunch.
hopefully they're open.
Well, we made it up to the Mill Restaurant. It's up on the hill. We were down over on that side and we came up this little deal here. Hopefully it's open. I don't know what the sign says. I've had signs lie to me before, so we're going to run in there and see what we can get for lunch. Inside is a stamp mill that they moved here from Bradshaw. Looks like a little mini stamp mill. So air or kinetic energy moves these two pistons upside down, and you put your ore in there and crushes it up and comes out the other side. There's always hummingbird feeders and tons of hummingbirds up here. It's a really cool stop. So this is a stamp mill inside, so your ore would go down there and it'll get crushed up, and then the wheel would be turned by a belt to whatever energy went into that. But you can see that this is set up just like a engine with a crank, and it separates the pistons or the crushers from going up and down. They've got wood blocks underneath them to keep that from, you know, eventually collapsing. Well, the young lady at the counter said this is picture perfect and worthy of a picture, and I think she's right. This looks awesome, and I'm gonna try to eat this in a non-messy fashion, and I'll let you know how it was. Napkins. Excellent. Very good. Try the corn. Very good street corn. Well, that was absolutely excellent, as always. Been coming up here 25 or so years, and for a remote location on the top of a mountain, I mean, you're not getting semis up here or anything like that. It is excellent food, above and beyond the burgers and fries that you get at a bar room or something like that. So highly recommend the Mill in Crown King. I am going to get on the motorcycle, head back down the mountain, and go home. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Adios.